Greetings and welcome to Let's Play Brain Kitty 5, The Revenge. No. October is soon. Soon, about 1 month now. No, a little bit more. 1.5. 1 and 1/4. Doesn't matter. Soon. And I'm going to do, like every October, some horror games. Horror themed games, horror related games. Somebody once said that they were scary, and I already recorded the first one, mostly because I still have a little bit of Might and Magic left. I also have the next Let's Play already recorded, and I think it should be around that time. I have to calculate. I have to count the remaining videos later on, and then I know for sure. But I think I have to do a quick Let's Play in between. Anyways, I already recorded the first game, and you may already know 2 of the games that I'm going to do. It will be, of course, Alone in the Dark 3 and Fatal Frame 3. And considering what came out this year, I may do Slender. The problem with Slender is that I have no idea how well I can record it, and I think nobody wants to see some 2 FPS Slender where you barely see anything. I have to check it out if I can record it properly, but it is something I haven't even finished it yet. I started the game, I found one of the pages, and I was like, okay, that's pretty scary. How about I'll do that later. Later. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about horror games and my take on them and what I kind of like, or horror games that I like and horror games that I utterly despise. I love the horror genre. I kind of like horror movies, I kind of like horror games and horror literature. Well, I'm not really a reader, but if I'm reading a book or some short stories, I do like to read H.P. Lovecraft or Edgar Allan Poe and stuff like that. And a few days, about 1.5 weeks ago, I read The Thing on the Doorstep from H.P. Lovecraft. And it was pretty good, really good, really nice story. Short, precise, to the point, with a nice twist at the end. And that's the thing. What I kind of like about Lovecraft's horror stories is they take something and they explain, that's the normal behavior and stuff like that, and then they slowly twist it. They take something and then they slowly twist it until it is not really what you knew before, and things like that. I really like the stories. And horror-based games, the thing what kind of pisses me off the most about horror games is the pacing. The problem with horror is you need to be in the mood. You can't just sit down, okay, I'm going to play a horror game. If I play Slender with music in the background, the room is well lit and stuff, and I'm talking with my best friend on Skype, and blah, 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 then I won't be scared as much as if I no music, playing the game on full screen, it's dark outside, the room is dark, and you understand what I'm talking about. And that's the problem with most horror games, the pacing. And a lot of horror games are adventures. Quite a lot of horror games are adventures. And there was this one game on GOG, Scratches. And I have to say, it started out pretty good. There was this house, and you explored the house the first time, and then you suddenly sometimes heard the scratches and stuff like that, and your protagonist, you really felt like he was scared, and it kind of swapped over to you. Then I got stuck at a riddle. I got stuck. I just couldn't figure the thing out. It was about finding a key in a pot. If you perhaps you may know what I'm talking about. And yes, I was looking the house. Nothing happened anymore, and I got quite bored. So I was looking for this key, and the thing. Spoiler alert. The thing is, there are some pots or vases in a floor. And if you go there and you click on them, he says, "Oh, I'm pretty sure there is nothing important in there." Remember, we are looking for a key. We are searching the house up and down for a key. "Oh, I think there's nothing important in there." Yeah. The puzzle is you have to find a picture that shows the key hanging over one of the vases while it was still in the kitchen. Then your protagonist says, "Oh, I may actually check out these pots on the floor over there." And that's the solution to the puzzle. And it totally whipped me out of the immersion. It totally whipped me out of the game. I was like, what? Come on, really? Seriously? Oh, that's... No. No, that's not true. You're kidding me, right? And then I totally lost interest in the game. I kind of wanted to finish it, and the ending was even more stupider than the game itself. But yeah, so I was like, okay, that was pretty bad, and that's the main problem. Is, like I said, with a lot of horror games, the pacing. You kind of want to make sure that the player is making progress, and he's not, and even if he doesn't make progress, at least keep him in the mood, keep him scared. That's what I kind of like about Fatal Frame. I have to say, of all the horror themed games that I played, Fatal Frame may be one of the best, because in Fatal Frame you are always under attack, sort of. You cannot clear out areas, because most of the ghosts are either recurring ghosts. You are, if you saw my Let's Plays of it, you see I'm fighting broken neck for quite some time, quite a lot of times, and I think in later chapter first I kind of banished the soul, but until then I'm always fighting her. And there are other ghosts that sometimes appear and sometimes don't appear. Not to mention it's randomized. So the ghost, you can't be sure, okay, I'm going into this room now and this ghost appears for 100%. It's not always like that. Some certain encounters, of course, are triggered, but not all of them. So you're always in constant danger. That's always a plus. The puzzles themselves aren't that stupid. And I already recorded one of the horror games, and no, it is not Fatal Frame, it is Alone in the Dark 3. And this game had such ridiculous puzzles. I couldn't get into the mood. Same with, I got a mail, yay. Same with Alone in the Dark 2. I don't know, I never felt like this is horror. This is supposed to be scary, because in Alone in the Dark 1 you were alone in the dark, kinda. You had this huge mansion, and there were some zombies a little bit, and occult things, monsters, stuff like that. That was kind of scary. In Alone in the Dark 2 you were fighting, I don't know. I don't even know if they were zombies or something. You fought some gunmen like all the time, and they disappeared and stuff like that. You were fighting some dudes you could only kill in a certain way because of some curse, the voodoo curse. I don't know, it never appealed to me. For me, it is important in a horror game that A, I'm alone. That really helps, and then should be some sort of pacing, a good pacing going on. And what also kind of bothers me is I read a lot of top 10 horror games of all time and stuff like that. And there's always games like Splatterhouse, Left 4 Dead, and things like... I don't know, I don't see Left 4 Dead as a horror game. I don't know. It's not a bad game. Don't get me wrong. Left 4 Dead is a pretty nice shooter. But I'm not really scared. I never was scared in this game. Sure, there are zombies in this game. Okay. The only thing that's kinda scary is the whole witch thing. Like if you startle the witch and if you go near a witch, the music changes and stuff. But that's the only scary thing about the game. 5 minutes later, you're fighting off hordes of zombies that come from all sides, and you're like, you have the weapons. You are 4 people, and I don't know. It's not really scary in my opinion. Same with another game series I really liked and still like is Silent Hill. I never really played Silent Hill 1, but I did play Silent Hill 2, and Silent Hill 3 is one of my favorite games. You can say Silent Hill is in my top 10 favorite games. Then there was Silent Hill 4, that was my chair. Then there was Silent Hill 4. I have no idea what they thought when they made Silent Hill 4. I think there are rumors out there that the game wasn't at first planned as a Silent Hill game because it is not playing in Silent Hill. It has absolutely nothing really to do with Silent Hill. Sure, there is some background information of the murder guy, that he may be in an orphanage in Silent Hill, but I don't know. And the main problem with this game is the constant switching between your home and the world where you are at the moment solving puzzles and stuff like that. So you're always like getting whipped out. I don't know, that's kind of like as if in Fatal Frame you can switch between the ghost village, and then sometimes you can go home and watch a little bit of TV and eat a donut or something. I don't know. It wouldn't really improve the game. And so that was Silent Hill 4. I did play Silent Hill Homecoming, and I'm amazed how bad they can make a game. They shouldn't call it Silent Hill. I don't know. I think the most people I had around me were 2 other people. I am a soldier, I have an old girlfriend or whatever around me, and a police officer. Sadly, he's the token black guy. I don't know, they kind of need they need to put this trope in every American thing in there. I don't know, and it's really horrible. It's not horrific, it's horrible. And so yeah, they royally fucked up with these. And yeah, that's kind of the thing with Silent Hill Homecoming. Too much focus on the combat and not really scary things. You were fighting humans. I don't know. I'm never afraid when I'm fighting humans. I mean, sure, there may be something strange going on, but humans. Seriously, Dead Space made a lot better this thing. I really like Dead Space 1. I liked it until to the point where they started throwing this religion thing in there, that suddenly the humans started making a religion out of this and voluntarily got infected with this, whatever it is. And I'm like, yeah, that's really... Sure, there may be some mind controlling going on, but I was like, yeah. And I haven't played Dead Space 2 or Dead Space 3, but they always say, well, Dead Space 1 was too scary for the people, and that's why they decided to reduce the scariness part. What? A horror game was too scary for some people? Seriously? Then don't buy a horror game. I honestly don't know why they always have to appeal to like 50 billion people. I know video game budgets, off the roof, whatever, I don't care. It's just silly. We have to reduce the scariness factor. Then they should play something else. I don't know. Try to make the game cheaper and I don't know. And yeah, so games like Splatterhouse, Left 4 Dead, I don't see the horror in there. Sure, it is gory, but gore does not equal horror. I never felt scared or something while watching Hostel or Saw. I mean, it was just a gore fest. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. Saw 1 was good. 2 was okay. The others, yeah. Let's not talk about them. Same with Hostel. I kind of watched Hostel 1 because a friend of mine was like, oh, this is so awesome, you have to watch it. And I was like, yeah, okay, I will watch it. I didn't enjoy it. No, that's just mindless butchering and stuff like that. That's not really horror for me. So, yeah. What makes a good horror game? Like I said, it needs to be subtle, slowly building up. It needs to immerse you into the game. And just because there's zombies in there doesn't necessarily make a game a horror game. Same with vampires. People always say, oh yes, vampire. Oh, I'm fucking tittles up. Vampire the Masquerade? That's the first one, or? The RPG from top down and stuff like that. They always say, oh yeah, that's a horror themed game. No, it's not. It's a vampire RPG. It's not scary. I don't know. I never felt... It is a good game. No, don't get me wrong. Just because I say it's not scary doesn't mean I think it's a bad game. It is a really good game. It's just not scary. Just because there are vampires in it. I don't know. Perhaps I have a different definition of horror. Slenderman, that's scary. Slender, that's scary. Hell, even House 2, the Flash game that I played once, was scary. Or what was it? Exhumed or something like that. That was pretty scary too. I don't know, it's just... There are so many factors that make a game scary or not scary. And you really have to be careful not to whip your audience out of the immersion, because that really kills a horror themed game. You will see this with Alone in the Dark 3. I don't know. Another game that I'm planning of recording, like I said, I really hope Slender is working, will be Don't Go Alone. That actually is a horror RPG. I played it years ago. I don't really remember a lot of it. But as far as I remember, it was, well, not really scary. It was horror themed. It wasn't scary or something like that. You have a group of 4 people, standard dungeon crawling stuff, but yeah, kind of in the scary realm. There's no magic, there's alchemy, and some mystics, and no real spells, but yeah, maybe interesting. I'm looking forward to playing it. Other than that, I'm kind of running out of horror games, to be quite honest. I will either this October or next October play Silent Hill 3. Because I kind of want to replay it, because I haven't played it for quite some time. And oh yes, another game that I personally thought was quite scary was Condemned 1. Condemned 1 wasn't bad. I kind of felt, even though you were fighting humans, it was still there was something wrong with them. It wasn't... some were disfigured and stuff like that, and things like that. That was pretty original, pretty scary and big. And you had this focus on melee combat, and that's what I kind of have to talk about Resident Evil, or yeah, I do have to talk about Resident Evil. Resident Evil 1 scary because you didn't know what was going on. There were zombies, and it was kind of gory, and the way the house was laid out, they could ambush you and attack you, and later on you were fighting these other things. The problem with Resident Evil was, you know Resident Evil by now. You know the background story. There's this T-Virus thing and the whatever virus and the Umbrella Corporation. You know who Wesker is, Ada Wong, Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, and however they are called. And there is just this huge mess of story in the game that, I don't know. I didn't really like the newer ones. I haven't played Resident Evil 5 yet. From what I've heard, is more of an action game than horror game. And the same problem was with Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 was a good game. It just wasn't scary. I don't know. I don't feel scared when I have like a shotgun in my hand and I can mow down hordes of zombies and stuff like that. I don't really feel scared. Make me helpless. Make me feel overwhelmed. Make me feel uncomfortable. That's kind of the feelings I want from being scared. Not being the action hero who was like, yeah, hasta la vista, baby. And then I'm mowing down hordes of zombies. I don't know. One good scene, and I really liked that scene, was in Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. Was it the second part? I don't know. Vampire 2. There was this one, I think it was even an optional quest, with a haunted mansion. And there weren't really fights in there or combat. You were going through this abandoned hotel and you slowly read about a murder went on in this place. And then you slowly but steadily realize what happened and where the murder was, and you sometimes saw in the shadows someone hiding there, or you read in an article about, they found a hat in the dryer, and suddenly the dryer goes on and you hear something tumbling around and you open it and then there's this hat that disappears suddenly. That was kind of cool. I kind of like that. I kind of like that part. Spoiler alert. But yeah, if you know some good horror games, then suggest them to me. I'm really interested in playing a few more horror games in my lifetime, and there just haven't been one. Big suggested one. I already forgot the name. Haunted? I don't know. The main problem with this game was the graphics were pixel. It was just full of pixels. That was the graphics style, and yes, I know graphics don't make a game, I always say that. I didn't feel immersed in the game. You had really huge. The game was, I think, 4-bit or something like that. I don't know. I didn't really like the graphic style, and I think that was the thing why I didn't get immersed into the game. It is kind of the same thing as Slender. You have to find 4 or 8 pieces of paper, and you're being followed by something. This something has flashlights, and it kind of feels like you are a prisoner who escaped or something like that. It kind of feels like that. And one of the things you could do in the game was running. If you tap the forward key. And I had a feeling it didn't really work out, mostly because the graphics sucked so hard you didn't really see if you were running or walking normally. So I was always like tapping, I was always like this, is he running? Are you running now? I don't know if he's running. What is wrong here? Is he running? Do I have to double tap quick? No, I don't know. It's not working. It totally whipped me out of the game. It totally. I was too focused on if this thing is this working? Is this working? I was too focused on that. I didn't get immersed into the game. If you make a running thing, just use shift. Is it that hard? Shift, running, fat, got on. Nobody's wondering, is it working? Is this? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it may sound silly, but that was the main reason why I didn't get invested into this game. Or, yeah, this and the graphics. There are some games I haven't really figured it out how they worked or what exactly they are. I think they are called experiment and then some number. Like there's one game you start off at the top of a tower or something like this, and from the inside, and you have to walk down. And you only have this flashlight, and it's really dark and rusty, moldy, and stuff like that. And the farther you go, the more noises you hear behind you. That stuff was pretty interesting too, but I haven't really found a good way to download them. I don't know. It's just they are free, so it is okay to download them. But still, I don't know. Anyways, horror. I'm really looking forward to some horror games. I'm really looking forward to Fatal Frame 3. I sadly don't have Fatal Frame 4, so it may be the last Fatal Frame that I will be let's playing. But yeah, like I said, if you know some good horror themed games, and I hope after this vlog you know what I'm looking for, then feel free to suggest them. I'm totally fine with, well, most platforms. I don't have all of them. But yeah. And no beat 'em ups. I don't see Splatterhouse as a horror game. It is gory, but it's not like you're playing this 3-meter huge Hulk who can punch demons in the face until they explode. I don't see the horror in that. Anyways, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And we will see each other soon. So, take care and goodbye.